What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Our Eagles are 10-1. This is Agree to Disagree. We're going to do Crumb in a week and give you everything Eagles post-game. Giddy up.
What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc, Make Them Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, location in Burlington, Cherryville, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. As always, Greg Milakovic, Brian Wilson. I'm Tom Arnone. No Nick DelGozzo tonight. But we are also brought to you by our good friends over at Royal Billiard, the premier game room store to Delaware Valley. They're stocked with the very best in pool tables, accessories, shuffleboards, card tables, dart supplies, bars, bar stools. You turn any ordinary room into an extraordinary gaming experience. Oh, did we mention they have hot tubs too? Go check out Royal Billiard, 515 Bethlehem Pike, Colmar, PA, or visit them on the web, royalbilliard.com. Oh, baby. What a time to be alive. What a time to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan. This is beautiful. And we got a lot to go over tonight. We got a lot. We'll save our negatives, not Eagles-wise, but just nationally sports-wise. We'll do a Crumb of the week at the end of the show. We do it at the end of every show. We'll give you our players of the game from a 37-34 Eagles overtime win. A game where it started out low scoring, and we got so much to talk about. It was a game of runs. It was really weird. I felt like it was two different games you watched pre-half, first half to second half. It was really crazy. Really crazy. Two great football teams too. Bill's record doesn't indicate how good they really are, right? And I think everybody watched this game understood that one too. But this is the Eagles post-game show. And our poll question brought to you by our good friends over at Baggio's Bread. They're located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. They're home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs. Mention A2D Radio, you get 10% off your order. Our poll. And we got a lot of great things to go over when it comes to Jalen Hurts too. A lot of great things. A lot of things. Before I even get into this poll, right? Before I even mention the poll, I sat here, right, waiting for us to do the show and the game to go final, and the Eagles get the ball and being down 3. And it took me right back to what we talked about on Monday's show last week about, what's maybe the thing that's like is the final thing you not need to see, right? But like you would like to see, right? It's like, you never want to be in those types of situations, but I would like to see Jalen go walk it off, right? I would love to see that. Show me that too. Show me that part of your game. And I sat here and I said, you know what? We just asked for this. So let's see how this goes. And typical him, exactly what he would do. Expect nothing less. He takes his team all the way down the field and walks it off, rushes it in from 12, 14 yards out, something like that, and walks it off for Philadelphia Eagles in OT. And I sat back and said, well, there it was. There may be the thing that some people didn't see, right? We've seen plenty of winning football, but that game's him, man. I mean, when he got his act together and we started running the football more and we started protecting more, I thought Driscoll was really good. But listen, all he does is win. And from the start of football, all we did was judge quarterbacks off of their wins and losses. Now, you couldn't play terrible. But you're talking about a guy who was horrific in the first half. He was horrific. He looked like another guy in the fourth quarter and in overtime. He just looked like a different guy. When you need a drive for the field goal, here's a drive. When you need a drive for a touchdown, here's a drive. Every time the Philadelphia Eagles need a drive, I don't care how it looks sometimes. Every time the Philadelphia Eagles need a drive, Jalen Hurts delivers on the drive. That's what winners do. And the poll, Jalen Hurts is the NFL MVP. I absolutely agree. And his numbers might not look it. There's turnovers in there, which he's done a better job of. I would say coming out of the bye, he's done a little bit better of a job of. Another unlucky one on a tip today. But you take the tip out, which you can't. It's another game where you don't turn the football over, essentially. or one time. Now you have the fumble, the mishap with Kenny that can't happen. Not sure who to put that on, nor am I going to sit here put that on anybody. But in winning time, which is what we define quarterbacks our whole lives. You watch the 4 minutes left in the NBA game, you know who the stars are, right? We talk about that. You know the great quarterbacks in the game when they had the ball, and you as a fan say, we're going to take this all away and win this football game. And when we got that ball, that was a feeling that went through me. Was I had no nerves about it. I had no nerves. We were down 10 in this football game, and I had no emotion. Not like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like we were going to lose. I said, this team's going to find a way like they always do. What do? They found another way, and that's led by their quarterback. We said what was the greatest skill set on draft night that every one of us talked about at some point, even though there were things we were concerned about, was
winner.
Guy's a winner and guy's a leader.
And a worker and a leader.
And a worker. And when you tie those three things in and you're calm and collective, because to be a winner like that in those moments, on those drives, things have to slow down for you.
Slow your heartbeat.
It has to slow down for the greats. And listen, it feels good to be in Philadelphia right now, be a Philadelphia sports fan, right, and be an Eagles fan and say, you know what? I have one of the greats in the game. Right now, I don't give a shit about longevity. And over the last 2 years, I got one of the greats in the game. That's the facts of it over the last 2 years. That's the fact of it.
Only player ever with only quarterback ever, with 3 straight years of 10-plus rushing touchdowns.
Ever. And look at all the wins he has in those years. Look at all the wins. That's all he does is win football games, Greg. So I agree.
That's why he's the MVP.
That's why he's the MVP.
That's why. Because we don't lose.
You know what?
We lose a couple in a row at the end here, then maybe you can make a case for somebody else. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
No, I really am done. It took me a while to get there through the reads and everything else. It takes me a while to get there.
I feel like he has to be. We just win games. And it's always him. Like, it's always on his back at the end when we get it done. And like you said, I mean, too, the interception's not bad. Pops up in the air, nothing you can really do. The fumble, he shouldn't have tried. Once you have to reach that out, you gotta fucking keep it. So, but you take that away, just go and fucking win the game. We even shot ourselves in the foot before the ridiculously amazing field goal by Jake Elliott.
Yeah.
We even shot ourselves in the foot. I think Kelsey had the shit. Takes his first 2 false starts of the fucking season, and then he runs into the locker room. I think he had the shit. But anyway, what a kick by Jake Elliott. I don't want to get past that.
Maybe that's why he's a little twitchy. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
Little twitchy finger?
Who here doesn't think he had the shit? I mean, he had the shit, obviously.
Well, when you said it, I was like, in our group message, I was like, yeah, it looks like a possible shit. You know what I mean?
When you couple it with the 2 false starts, first 2 false starts of the season, and you're like, oh, dude's got shit.
This got to poop.
But I mean, great kick, great kick by Jake Elliott. Like you said, Tom. Besides Tucker, I don't know, and Tucker might be kind of getting old. He might be the best kicker in the league. I trust Jake in big spots, 100%. And again, Jalen. I mean, how can you not trust him? Like, I knew we were going to go down and score right there. As soon as he misses that throw to Gabe Davis, we're winning the game.
Oh yeah, you felt it.
You know.
I knew it. One, if they complete it, we lose. But 2, you just know.
True.
That sense of calmness comes through us as a fan. I've never been calmer with a quarterback in my life here. Never. And he's playing like shit, and I could roast him at halftime. And you guys know me in the past. I don't even blink. At it. Talk to me at the end of the game. Like anything negative that anybody wants to post about the Eagles, like during the game in 2023, you're an idiot. You better wait, babe. You better wait to get everything you want to get out.
I mean, you can still complain about the play calling.
No. Play calling's whatever. That's
there.
That's normalcy. There's normalcy with complaining about play calling. But as in terms of a team or players, like hold your breath. Right? Hold on.
Tom, what have we been saying for weeks? We just have we're going to win the game. I know we're going to find a way. We find a way to win. It's just what we do. We find a way.
Todd, what's up, brother?
What up, Todd?
It's literally the best thing I can say, because guess what? Almost every game, there's a couple, where you're like, I'm going to have a heart attack. This fucking team. this fucking game again.
And usually first half, right? Usually first half.
We literally find a way. They come in, they shock us back. We find a way. It's incredible. It really is. That's the best thing you can say about the team is they're so damn resilient and they find a way.
Yeah, the Eagles.
And I got the confidence that they will every week.
Defibrillators to every fan, so we can have them. So we can have them on hand when they're going through their first half. I mean, you asked me this at halftime, and I'm like vehemently disagreeing. Right? You know, because
someone had to come in and give you the clear, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely. Clear me up.
Greg's good.
As a ticket holder,
he's good, guys. He's good.
He's back. As a ticket holder for the Jalen Hurts for MVP club, yes, I am absolutely going to agree to this. But Tommy, you hit it on the head. Right, those last two drives were the money drives. Right, when you needed to have it, everything kind of on the last drive in regulation, everything kind of going against you. Right, especially towards the end. Right, we're rolling, thinking, all right, maybe we just go down and win it, and then we start self-inflicting wounds. But we get through it, and then the drive in overtime was masterful. I mean, it was a great pass to DeVonta, and his run. He was untouched, and I'll tell you, he looked better on that run in overtime than he did running in any other part of the game. Any other early part. No, Jalen.
Oh yes,
he looked like there was no pain in the world. Where it was
good burst. Sorry, good burst.
Good burst. He was hitting that X button. Right?
Granted, I think any of us score on that too because the lane was huge.
Yeah, well, it was a great. That was actually a great design. It was a pump fake right. It was a pump fake right. Everybody moved right.
Kelsey peeled back and took the linebacker out.
Then you hit a cutback. Then it was a cutback. So that was as much as we complain about play design. That was actually a good play design.
That was a good one. Considering that we've thrown 1,002 receiver screens in the last 3 weeks, it was a good time to fake it right there.
Listen. I'm not going to do that tonight, though. You know what I mean? Like I'm 10-1. I'm 10. You smell it? You smell it? You smell greatness. That's what you're watching. That's what you're watching. That's what you're witnessing. There's everybody out there. Don't even come in here with it. There's no need. I see it in the chat a little bit. Not tonight. I agree with you. I hear you. I sit at home and I scratch my head to play calls. But you know what I can't scratch my head to? 10-1. What I can't scratch my head to is winning games.
If you notice, Tommy, when did we start clicking? As soon as we started running the ball.
Run the football.
We had that drive where we ran it right down the field, and then the offense started clicking. I don't know why we don't do more of that. That's my only gripe. And stop with the goddamn wide receiver screens.
But that's also my quarterback to call out the get out of those in bump covers.
I'm okay with one or two to AJ or DelGozzo.
Well, it's all about
a receiver that's my age.
Well, it's all about reads, right? If I'm in press coverage or I got a bunch of guys up at the line and I don't like the look it gives as a quarterback, I got to get myself out of those, right? So some of the things fall on the quarterback of getting out of that play because you can sell it as a fan. Like that's not going to work from as soon as you snap the ball, it's not working.
Yeah.
Right. But no, Greg, so you agree. So we all agree that, as of right now, he's the NFL MVP. And you know what the biggest reason is, guys? I know the numbers aren't there per se to some other guys. It's the wins. It's the teams you've beaten. I mean, you think about the teams the Philadelphia Eagles have beaten this year. Everybody last year, you didn't beat nobody. I didn't beat nobody. That's all I heard. Sorry. Then you went to a Super Bowl. You should have a Super Bowl goddamn hangover. You don't have one, and you're not kicking people's asses. But I say kicking asses because you're 10-1. That's why you're kicking asses, and you're beating damn good teams.
Only the second team ever to lose in a Super Bowl and then win 10 of their first 11 the next year. And the other one was one of the Bills teams in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Yeah, we don't want to be that, but just saying. It's only usually teams do struggle after a Super Bowl loss, Super Bowl hangover. We have not, and a lot of that falls on Jalen. Now, granted, the first half today, I don't want to talk negative, but I will say the Bills helped us because they moved down the field on us, but they committed a penalty every other play, so that helped to keep us in the game. So thank you, Buffalo, for that.
And again, that's why Buffalo is the team they are this year.
That's why.
Right?
Yeah,
that's why they're 5-7
wounds.
now.
Yes, they self-inflict wounds. They're 6-6, maybe
6 and
5
okay,
6.
maybe
Marley,
that's why they are.
Marley, you're right. I mean, that was the topic of conversation last year. We didn't beat any top tier QBs, and this year we've beaten a bunch of them. We've beaten Dak. We've beaten Mahomes. We've beaten Allen.
We've beaten all of them.
We've beaten Tua. I mean, who else? Who am I missing?
We've beaten all of them.
We lost to
we lost to a shit quarterback.
We lost to Zach
We're
Wilson.
going to be technical.
We lost to Zach Wilson.
My cousin, he's shit.
Yeah. But think about it. And Jalen as a quarterback, when it's quarterback versus quarterback, naturally so. That's how people look at things. Look at the quarterbacks he's beaten. So when you talk about the MVP of the league, those things matter.
Mm-hmm.
Those things matter. They absolutely matter on who you beat too. Because when you're coming off a strength and schedule that you're going to be given the following year, now that always doesn't pan out. But this year it's panned out pretty much.
Yeah.
Like where guys aren't, there isn't a ton of guys out or marquee guys outside of Rodgers in the Jets game, and you lost that anyway, right? But there isn't a bunch of guys out. So when you look at it, it's matched up the way where this was going to be a gauntlet. And when you look at the start of the gauntlet with Miami, all you've done is one. All you've done is one gauntlet. It's the gauntlet I said 8 weeks ago. It's the gauntlet to play us. You can't worry about everybody else. When you're this good, you got to play us somewhere. I don't care where we're playing you at either. That's how good this football team is.
And they've proven that as well. They've proven that they can go on the road and win big games.
Yep.
And Tommy, like you mentioned, like the stats don't necessarily show, overflowing that he's the MVP. But if you look at any sports book, he is the leader in the MVP as of right now.
He's the odds-on favorite right now.
He was before this week.
Favorite.
He was before this week.
Updated this morning on DraftKings, he's plus 125. Which I think is very close to where I know you made that post earlier in the week. But yes, that's the schedule, the team wins, and he is the orchestrator of that offense. So while he might have had better statistical numbers last year and stuff like that, I think he's playing a better brand of football this year.
You know what? As a fan, right? As a fan, we'll look at things like that too. And as a teammate, right?
He's in full control.
Yeah, when you're looking at this year compared to last year, like last year, the numbers were there and it was electric and all that. The teams you're beating, the teams he's beating, the way they're beating them, as a player next to him, you have all the confidence in the world, and as a fan, you have all the confidence in the world. I mean, this guy's playing off the charts in big moments. Like, okay, no, he's not playing off the charts the whole game. He's not, right? But in the biggest moments, he's playing off the charts. So as a teammate, as a fan, you're getting more this year than you got last year in a weird way. I'm not saying, I'm not going to have like the argument of what Jalen's better, right? It's the same Jalen. This is a year older. This is more maturity. And I think the biggest thing we're seeing, boys, is we're seeing the growth of a quarterback. That's what we're seeing. Makes
Absolutely.
sense?
He's in full control.
Yep, we've seen the growth of a lot of things from him since the start, but we're now seeing that's the dude right there. You know what I mean?
Another great thing we see every week, Tom, is our both of our lines, D line and O line, they just get better as the game goes on. In the fourth quarter, they're very dominant on both sides. It's great because that's how you win in this league.
Yep.
So that's a great thing.
Well, we were missing a bunch of guys today too. I mean, Milton Williams obviously
we definitely were, but I thought they still played very well.
Yeah, Milton Williams was inactive. He's hurt. Fletcher went down,
and obviously Lane was inactive.
And then Jalen Carter was hurt out there too. And Jordan Davis was all over the field at the end of the football game. So guys stepped up, right?
Jordan Davis was like big tree fall hard on that one where he ran all the way across the field.
I love that though, right? I love it.
So do I. Dude's player.
I love it.
And you see the first falling outs of the Barnett release, and Nolan Smith was on the field a lot as well. And he was around the football at least. I don't think he actually did anything, but he was around the football, showing actually being on the field.
I think Brandon Graham might have the best game of his.
Brandon Graham had a real good play.
Yeah, best game of his season, I think.
Right. They just went 9 plays, 75 yards in 3 minutes and 15 seconds and walked it off against a really good football team in the Buffalo Bills to go 10-1, and we don't feel like they put up the expectations. So I want you to elaborate. I'm not saying you're wrong. I want you to elaborate what you mean.
I would say they haven't played a complete game,
Complete
Ray, if
game?
that's what you're trying to get at. Because that's what I would agree with that.
I don't know if anybody in the National Football League does.
No, I agree, but
if you watch around the league,
definitely haven't yet, though.
Yeah, but if you watch around the league, who does?
Yeah, it's
unless you're blowing somebody
Ravens
out.
Might have a couple times, but
yeah, because you're blowing out tomato soups. I mean, you got like
you can say the Cowboys, but they haven't beaten anybody.
Yeah, we ain't gonna blow any of these teams out.
The Ravens smoked two good teams in the Lions and Seahawks, where they just dominated the whole game. We just haven't dominated the whole game. That's all.
No, I hear you. I hear that, and if that's part of the argument, then I got you. You know what I mean? Luck will run out on what?
I'm just trying to agree with Ray there that maybe that's what he means. He might not mean that, but in my opinion, we just haven't played a full game yet, which is scary if you're another team.
Yeah, you know what? Like in today's league, that's like saying almost like, and it's weird to say this, but it's almost like saying like in the NFL, in the NBA, like a team hasn't played a complete game. Again, if you watch enough NBA, you know it's a runs. It's runs.
Oh yeah, it's all runs.
You even see that in baseball where it starts with like everything starts with a hit, and then it's contagious, and then it's like okay, runs, you know, are sprinting across the plate. And I think in all sports, and I think NFL has gotten closer to that, where it's literally quarters of runs, halves of runs from teams, right? A little bit more than probably in the past. And
momentum plays a huge part for sure.
Yeah, you definitely see it here.
And Daryl, I mean, this is what the Cowboys do. They blow out bad teams. They lose the good teams. It's what they do.
I mean, we scored 24 points in the second half of a football game. I mean, that's, you know, I would say you got it going on, you know, and that's not including OT, right?
That's a good defense.
Stretch of three touchdowns and 4 passes for him.
Yeah. I'm close.
And you're right, Will. That's another good defense from the Andy Reid tree, right? And they just know how to frustrate us from an offensive standpoint, right? When you look at McDermott, Leslie Frazier, you know, Spagnuolo, right? You go through the Andy Reid defensive coordinators or guys that have been a part of his defenses in the past know just how to frustrate us. And I think that's evident every time we play the Bills.
No, I agree.
Or another one off his tree. Like we saw it last week with the Chiefs, right? They just know what to do to frustrate you for most parts of the game. We're just able to overcome it when we need to.
No, I agree. Yeah, grasshopper, I don't know what I'd be clueless with. I would just go get a weed whacker out or something. You know what I mean? Go cut a lawn. Enjoy your Monday. Big Eagles win. We're 10-1.
And very true, Billy. We usually do struggle without Lane. So very true.
We do.
That's a big win.
We were 13-22 coming in without Lane. We're now 14-22 without Lane Johnson. So never an easy thing to overcome, you know, for the Eagles.
And by the way, hopefully he's fine.
And 2 more wins to catch the over on the season.
Yeah, hopefully he is. You know, this team's been
definitely going to use them next week. They got a good pass rush coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, though. You know, but are they coming here again?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember they come here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're home against
another 10 days.
Dallas
10 days
right?
10 days for us too.
Yeah. At least we get to catch up here, though. At least we're on a full week.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? You know, we were on this is short. You know, the other impressive thing is here too, what nobody's really going to talk about.
Short week off a big win Monday night. Yep.
Yeah, man, you're sure. You're not short week off a big win just Monday night at home.
Teams lose this game,
especially a holiday week too. So you know, schedules were adjusted to allow for family times and stuff like that, right?
Oh man, this is a tremendous win on so many levels. Which there's no trap with this team, right? There's no not this would be a trap, right? But there's no.
It could have been. It had the markings of it, right?
It could have been.
With an AFC or NFC opponent coming in next week.
With the Niners coming in.
Smelled trappish, Greg. I'll give you that. Smelled trappish.
No, it could be, but my point is there isn't one for this team.
But you're right, Tommy.
Like they don't have that. They might have a half where it was trappy, right? They had a half where, trap talk, and then they woke up. So, you know, credit to this team. I can't say enough great things about how tough, how resilient. You know, they got a lot of work to do. Season's not over. But they just find ways to win.
They find a way.
And if they win the next 2 weeks, I mean, I think you just put the whole league's already on notice to a point where you officially you just put if they beat the Niners, everybody's on notice. You know what I mean? Because you already beat Dallas once. So, I mean, Dallas can have one versus you. Doesn't mean they're better. Make sense? Right? Doesn't mean they're better. You just split us, babe. Calm down. Everybody calm down. Right? Next week's the week, babe. Next week's the week to say, hello, I don't care you win that game 5-2. You understand? I don't care how you win next week. I really don't. Next week's a big boy dog fight. That's a big boy dog fight. And Purdy's been playing great. Right? I do think
obviously McCaffrey's been playing great. It's going to be a good game.
Well, this is a revenge game for them, and they had a lot to say this offseason, right? So to me, this is big for us too.
Yeah.
Because they said a lot of things. They had a lot to say, right? One Javon Hargrave's over there. That's cool. You go to enemy territory. If you ask my early feelings, nobody's beating us besides Dallas to get the split. Nobody beat us. Niners aren't coming in here and beating us next week. Hey, who can say they will? What's the early line on that, Greg? What's the early line on that game? I mean, I'm jacked up. I'm jazzed up to be an Eagles fan, and you also put your chest out a little bit. Everybody,
I would assume we're
you got complaints.
2 or 3.
We got complaints. We got different things. Put your damn chest out and walk around with the confidence of, wow, we're that good. What is it?
10-1, baby.
What is
it? -1.
Home dog?
Home dog right now.
First off,
dog. Get it in now.
Let us be a home dog, please.
Get it in now. Get it in, baby.
Money line's not plus money yet. It's -105.
But my point is, Greg, they had a lot of damn excuses after last year.
Did.
Okay.
No quarterback.
Oh, yep.
Well,
block for your quarterback.
The fans were mean to me.
Man, this is a week
that's
where you want
the one I want. Like, to be like, full disclosure, I would have even accepted a loss today just to make sure that we were ready to go next week. That's the one that I wanted.
Yeah, and I shut you down on that.
With that mini three games, right? KC, Buffalo, San Fran. I was like, all right, let's go 2-1, and be still in a really good spot. But I need that. I need one of those two to be San Fran.
Yeah, let me get all three. You know what I mean?
Now we're in a spot we're going all three.
Let me have all three. No, I mean,
let me have a little 3-piece followed by punching Dallas in the mouth.
What up, Dale? Thanks for the super chat. He says we got to play all 4 quarters against those turkey cheesesteak eaters. That's tough. You know what I mean? That's tough. But no, I mean, we need to, we got a quarterback that in the big moments, Bill, like Bill said, nothing rattles him. And I've been the biggest Purdy's and overrated guy, Pharaoh 3K for a while. So I'm not scared of Brock Purdy. I know people are now. Now what makes me nervous is what he's got around him. He's a distributor, which entails makes you a good quarterback, right? But it's all timing for them, right? If you can knock their rhythm off and what they're trying to do to you, is big. And their biggest asset to them is always going to be their Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan from the Shanahan tree, obviously, is the ability to run the ball, right? And that's something that's tough to do against us. I know Buffalo went for 173, including Josh Allen, 173.
Yeah, a lot of Allen, I feel.
But that was 40. That was also 40 attempts.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say they actually ran more than I thought they would.
But I'm not worried about Purdy. I like to put him out again, and I don't want him out for the year or nothing. But just you know what? Let's just show you again.
I'll take him out for the year. I don't care.
Yeah.
We might see him again. It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. Whatever.
SJM says, "What up, fam?" He said, "Another gritty white knuckle win. Love this team. The perseverance, the composure, the leadership, blue collar attitude. Still haven't played their best ball yet. Best is yet to come." And that's where I'll agree with. Like they're tough, they're resilient. They're all those adjectives. And to the comment earlier, they probably haven't played their best football yet.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right? They haven't, but in the biggest moments they have. That's the key. They might not have these games that look all pretty throughout, but in the biggest moments of games, like I said earlier, every time you need a damn answer, Jalen gives you an answer. Every time this year, outside of the Jets game, where you needed an answer, you needed a response offensively, no matter how bad he was playing, something happened. Something happened. Dude, he looked like he should be playing in the Big Ten championship for Iowa in the first half. I mean, that's how anemic he was throwing the football. And it just, but like Will, like you said, you get a little running involved for any. Listen, there ain't a quarterback in the history of the league that doesn't need a running game. Ask around, right? It's important. So you get him a little bit of a running game with DeAndre Swift finally, right? And look how the passing game opens up, right? And it opens up not only, and his legs open up the passing game too. That's the biggest thing. When you watch a guy, and I don't want to get into other quarterbacks, but I'll just go CJ Stroud, who's a younger guy, obviously. He keeps so much alive without running. It's unreal, okay? And that's where I think Jalen could really still has room to grow in, right? He has room to grow in the slide up in the pocket instead of sliding out and skirting out of the pocket, is sliding up through it and still keeping your eyes downfield with the opportunity to throw or run, right? So that if you want something that extra, which I'm sure he's looking for extra, there's something extra. But dude, he's been tremendous.
No, and you're absolutely right. I mean, you look at that touchdown drive to AJ, right? And that was where we started to really get the run game. Not only was Jack Stoll wide open for that long catch and run, right? But then AJ's wide open in the end zone for that easy pass and catch because the run game was there, right? The run game was an option. Not only him, but DeAndre as well. And lo and behold, you start to see wide receivers wide open like they usually are against us, right?
Yeah, Greg, you can't have DeAndre Swift at 5.7, Kenny at 13, and in Boston at 7, right? And then them only have 16, 18 carries. You understand?
Yeah.
Right. That's what you can't have. I mean, that's an elite clip, right? Well, the numbers I just read off to you guys is elite. I don't know what the average is on those three. I know it was 5.8 if you average Jalen in, but Jalen at 65 yards, but only 4.6 yards an attempt and 2 TDs, which is obviously a difference maker. But all of them were, like I said, DeAndre was 5.7, Kenny 13, and Boston 7. I mean, that's got to almost be somewhere 7.5, 7.5 yards a carry.
25-26 divided by the 3. Or divided by the total. What was the total?
What, 18?
That's not right.
18 carries?
No, divided by the 3. So 20, 8.5.
Yeah,
somewhere in that 8.5 range. Because that was at the averages. So
yeah, whatever. I mean, 8.5, 7.5 doesn't matter. It's elite. It's elite.
Should we do a lot more?
I mean, run the ball all day when you're working at that kind of clip. Yeah. And that's a gripe with him, right? That's a gripe with him for sure.
And you look, Tommy, it's right on track with that. You look the last 2 weeks.
Greg doing math. Always
Never
scary.
a good thing. Never a good
thing. The weather was shit. Like, we should have been running the ball more in theory.
Oh, bro, when you talk about the last 2 weeks, I mean, you see why Josh Allen's elite, an elite arm, compared to Jalen at times, right? You see the difference in the two. I mean, you don't need to be the smartest guy in the room, right? But another guy just has that winner in him, right? Because Jalen, the first half of both games in the rain was putrid. But listen, we're going to get into game balls on the other side when we come back. When we come back from our quick commercial break here on Agree Disagree, make sure we got a ton of people watching right now. Hit the like, subscribe, turn your alerts on, stay with HUD Radio all day, every day. And this is Agree to Disagree. So Kalk is still discussing if the math is math in that one, Greg.
I'd say it's up in the air.
Still not sure. We'll get back to you. Listen, and we're going to get back to everybody in here because we still got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got to give our players of the game. We're going to continue to go over Eagles, Bills, post game, give you a little early prediction for next Sunday's dogfight that we're about to get into with the Niners. We got a lot to talk about. And our crumbs. All that on the other side. Agree to Disagree. HUD Radio. We'll be right back, baby.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My Nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat John. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Agree to disagree. ATD Radio. If you're just joining us, we've already gave you 30 minutes worth of post game. We're going to give you more of the Eagles-Bills post game or poll question. If you're just joining us, you can vote on it. Jalen Hurts is the NFL MVP. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Keep joining the conversation. We see y'all. Drew. So you feel like Drew's new to the chat. What's up, Drew? We'll talk about that in a little bit. We got a ton to talk about still. Still got to give our players of the game. We'll get into Carlinos. Carlinos is the best, Billy. They are the best. He said they were
still going strong, Bill.
He said they were like family to me as a kid and still going strong. Yup. Carlinos Market, Ardmore, Westchester, PA, or find them online, carlinosmarket.com. They are the best. What up, Cotton Ball? We see you, baby. So, okay. Players of the game, offense and defensively. I'll get this party kick started because I'll save everybody Jalen on the offensive side of the football. I'll save everybody Jalen. I'm gonna go with my son. I'm gonna go with DeVonta again. I think it's 2 straight weeks. He was big time for us. 7 catches, over 100 yards for 106, and a tutty. Over 15 yards completion. That's big time. It's big time, especially when they do their best.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. That's big time. I'm saving some people, guys. I think there's a lot of players in the game when you win a game and you walk it off an OT and you score 37 points. Right? There's a lot of offensive guys that you could dabble with on this one. Jake Elliott's another great one for everybody saying Jake out there too.
Damn it.
But no, that's the people. I'm not taking it from you.
Take him, Will.
I'm taking DeVonta.
I was gonna leave Jalen for Greg.
I'm taking DeVonta. So who's up? Who's taking who?
Who's
taking who? Hold on. You know what?
I'm taking Jake.
You're taking Jake. Okay.
That kick is such a monster kick in that spot, and we kind of made it tougher on him by having back-to-back penalties. Just in the rain, 59-yarder, good from probably 65. What the balls on him to kick. Like, I just trust him. I trust him, and that's just a big balls kick. And I usually don't give out game balls to kickers, but Shaky Jake gets this one.
Yeah, he ain't shaky.
And he's not shaky.
He ain't no shaky anymore.
He's a lot like this quarterback. He's a lot like this quarterback. He's a winner, too. And he's a Super Bowl champion. Let's not forget about that, too.
Absolutely.
And at the kicker position, there ain't much more pressure after you kick in a Super Bowl and you make a bunch of them like he did, right? There really isn't the pressure sort of goes away. You know what I mean? In reality, right? Unless you start missing a bunch of kicks. So
and really, since he's been here, Tom, he hasn't really missed any big kick with the game on the line. He's hit every one, pretty much. I can't think of one where he missed it where we're like, damn, we're going to lose the game now because he missed that kick. Can't think of one.
No, there hasn't been. And our players of the game are brought to you by Gleason's Bar, located 6700 Mill Creek Ave in Levittown, PA. Go check them out. Use promo code A2D. Get 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or online. Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com is where you can find them. So I took DeVonta Smith. Wills took Jake Elliott. Greg is taking who? Who was your offensive player of the game, Greg?
We got to go with the guy that stirs the drink, Jalen Hurts. Yeah. There are still a couple other guys that are worth noting, but Jalen Hurts is the last of the no-brainers.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it, right?
Absolutely.
He's the poll question. We already talked about all the the great things that he's already done, but yeah, leaving him on the board. I appreciate you guys. Made it real easy for me.
We did a lot of math tonight, right? So
yeah, it was all in the head too. So
We didn't want to overwhelm you. One thing about
This
Jalen
will be
Hurts.
easy for you. Make it easy
One thing
for
about Jalen Hurts, like growing up, right, boys, like when we're young, right? And you watch the likes of Montana, you watch the likes of Elway, you watch the likes of Aikman. I'm not even getting into Brady, Mannings, right? But you get into the likes of those guys. And when you watch those guys, those game-winning drives.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Those long drives.
They always had confidence that he was going to get them done.
That's what he is, man. That's what Jalen Hurts is. Like people are like, you're compared to Montana. Listen, they're different. They're different types of quarterbacks, but he has that Montana Brady.
It's the it factor.
It's just something different. It's not. He's not going to show up on every goddamn intangible. Tom Brady's arm strength actually got better as his career went on. Right, just to be clear with everybody. Right, like he actually got better at his craft. Right. But he had the it. He had the it to win, right? But Jalen Hurts, you're watching the same thing. Am I telling you he's going to play like Brady did and win all the Super Bowls? I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that he has the it to win. That's all. I know there are a lot of greats have Elway, Montana. Aikman obviously won him, right? I don't care how good his team was. He still was the engineer of it, right?
Roethlisberger.
He had the it factor. Peyton. They all had it, man. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of the greats, right?
You know what it was? It was when you give them the ball and they're down less than a touchdown, they're going to go win the game.
Yep.
That's what it is. And it doesn't matter how they get it done. They're going to find a way. And that's what he does. He finds a way. Doesn't matter if he's got to use his arms, his legs, whatever he's got to do, he finds a way.
Bad knee and all, finds a way. If it's scampering for a first down, if it's scampering for 7 extra, that whole drive was just defined him. It defined him. And for anybody out there that had question marks still pending when it came to Jalen Hurts, you didn't watch today again, right? Like I had question marks in the first half. I think we all do. Yep. But again, if you watch the full game, you leave without those question marks. Those question marks get wiped away unless you're just a moron or you're just a hater, right? If you sit at home and have question marks still on his it and his ability to win, and that he's elite in those moments, right? Right for however long, right? He could go 30 minutes of just being a guy. Like I said, a guy quarterback for Iowa, right? Just a dude going around, right? And then can play the other 30 minutes at an elite level. Dude, it doesn't matter. Just like I want basketball, right? I want my best players, in crunch time under 5 minutes in an NBA game. I want you to take over.
That's when it matters.
That's when the elite takes over.
Matters.
Robert, you're spot on, baby. That's an MVP drive. Two of them. Oh, what a day. What a day. Kayvon says people need to wake up and realize that Hurts is a quarterback and not this BS running QB narrative they still use. Yeah, that narrative is on draft night. That narrative is year 1. That narrative went away year 2, right? That you can't throw the football, all those other things. That narrative went away quick for him. He shook that narrative himself. He said, doubters, hold on. I'm going to have an MVP caliber year, right? And this year, guess what he's shaking off now? He's shaking off he didn't play. All the disrespect he got on who you played. He's shaking all that off this year in an unbelievable way. In an unbelievable, like, hold my beer, kiss my ass type way. He's shutting down any type of critics out there on what can you type up now to try to hate? What can you? Good question. Because here in Philadelphia, we always look for things when it comes to players. And if you got something that you're thinking, I'm gonna tell you you're a moron. Listen, take away all the stats and all the great numbers. I don't care about those things. Are you a fucking winner?
You win the game.
Are you a fucking winner?
What is our record in the last 2 seasons?
We've lost 2 games.
I was gonna say it's phenomenal.
Or 3. You're going regular season. I think it's 2 games total. I think it's 3, right?
Yeah,
3 games total. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. with
bad.
with one of those losses being unfortunately a Super Bowl, but you were there, right?
The NFL. You listen to anyone. You listen to anyone that knows the league well. They tell you that this league is designed for teams to go 500. They be super competitive, and we've been dominant for 2 years now. Dominant, absolutely dominant. And the guy that's controlling it is Jalen Hurts because he's just an absolute winner, just a winner. And again, Tom, like you said, I don't care about the stats. Throw them out the window.
Yep.
I don't care. I don't care. It's about coming out of the game with a win. Doesn't matter how it happens. He gets it done. He gets done every time. There's nothing better I can say about him. I can't give him a higher compliment.
Yeah, absolutely, Wills.
No, you can't give him a higher compliment. You really can't.
I have full faith that he's going to get the job done. I swear to God, as soon as they missed that throw to Gabe Davis, I said, we're going to win this game.
I think someone said in the chat, I might have missed it on the show, but I guess he shook his head after that, made like a gesture, and if I would have seen it, the comment in the chat was like, I knew at that point we were going to win, right? Because he was like, all right, let's go after they missed that throw.
Yeah, that was tough. When he missed that throw, you're like, there they go.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
I feel like they kind of knew it. Gabe Davis spiked his helmet.
Yeah,
I think he kind of knew it.
Pretty impressive. He was able to land it on that holder though too. That was pretty impressive. couldn't hold on to couldn't get the football, but nice spike of the helmet.
Yeah, that was a great spike.
Yeah, you're right, Welch. You can't sit there on the other side after missing a wide open throw. Yeah. Right? Even if he doesn't get the touchdown, if he just comes back and catches the ball, they're down inside.
He just ran his route without getting his head around. If he just got his head around, he probably catches it easy.
Once they drop that,
thank God.
If you're on the other side, knowing what we've done
that's
the last
why you blitz,
2 years.
That's why you blitz.
Well, he actually,
game was
to me, he actually ran the right route compared to where the DB was in his situation.
You're right, Tom. It's just what it was that Allen just had to get rid of. He just lofted. He just figured that what's it called would see the ball and then go catch it.
Yeah, he never readjusted himself to it because you saw the corner did, but he took that, outside hip on the corner because he had the corner turned around. So in reality, his route was better than where the ball was thrown. But I mean, that happens with pressure, right? This is a game of pressure. When your front can get home and create happy feet for any quarterback or not being able to step into the throw
before they want to. Yeah.
Yeah. Even a great like Josh Allen. I mean, he made throws today where there ain't many guys in football that are making that throw. And there was a bunch of them in the rain that dude made where you're like, whoa. I mean, he's special. They're better in a weird way, but they're not, right? They learn how to run the football better. I like their 1-2 punch.
They still are very self-inflicting with wounds,
They find ways to lose. There's a difference.
13 penalties?
Yeah, they find ways to lose.
A lot of penalties. Yeah, you're right. They find ways to lose. He's like the opposite of Jalen Hurts. He's like Josh Allen's like the polar opposite of Jalen Hurts. Looks great, got all the stats, finds ways to lose.
Actually, and Nick Sirianni deserves a ton of credit here, right? When you say he deserves his flowers too. Yeah, let's not let this go unnoticed here, right? There's been a lot of hires here in Philadelphia sports, right? A lot. And when you're coming off getting hired from a legend, because that guy's a legend because he brought us our first Super Bowl, and Doug Peterson, that is not easy to follow. No matter how it went for Doug on his way out, which it was obviously it wasn't a good year. So you get moving on. But that's tough to sell, man. That's tough to sell from an owner perspective to a fan base, right? You're not bringing in like a retread name of a big name. You're going again under the radar. Like why would we want a Colts offensive coordinator, right? Remember, we were like, what do we want that for? They've stunk, right? Why would we want that? But guess what? He knew something. Jeffrey nailed it again. I mean, Jeffrey Lurie nailed it again with Nick Sirianni. Your owners only have so much impact on a football team, right? Are they willing to spend, blah, blah, blah. And their biggest impact of all, right? Did they know how to judge character? They know how to judge a leader of men because that's what you're hiring a guy for. Forget the X's and O's for a second. You're hiring a guy who can lead men. And say what you want about Nick Sirianni. His presser, his original one was comical.
Even that in that opening presser, Tommy, how quote unquote weird or strange it started.
Doesn't matter, right? Guys bought in. You know what? It was strange. It was strange. Okay, it was.
Speaking of flowers, are we still watering them?
But whatever. When you win that many football games, you can
water all the flowers you want,
dude. Your first comment can be like, "Who's eating my asshole?" That could be like your first comment in your presser. And if you go win at the rate this guy's won at, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can say whatever you want out on your presser if you go win football games at this kind of clip. Right? I mean, this is almost like the hire of Andy on steroids, in my opinion. Right? This is what this is. It's just it happened quicker, right? Because you already had the quarterback before you hired him. Makes sense? You already had the guy in place, so it's a little bit different. So, and that guy already had a year of like sitting around before you hired Nick, and then to go to your playoffs in your quarterback's first year as a starter, right? Year 2, and a rookie head coach that take a roster that wasn't supposed to go to the playoffs and take it to the playoffs. I mean, that just tells you how good the two of them are at winning, right? And then you go what you did last year, and you follow it up to being 10-1 this year. Sorry for the rant, boys. Sorry for going off right now, but that's elite stuff we're watching. That's not by accident. You can't win this many games in the National Football League by accident. It ain't by accident. 1 year, you could run into something and it be fucking accidental. 2 is a goddamn trend, and 3 years of going to the postseason is a big-time trend. So you can say whatever the hell you want to a fan after a game, Nick Sirianni. You could yell, you could be emotional, because I want to riddle the morons this. In sports comes emotion. If you don't play sports or you don't coach with a goddamn pulse, this ain't for you, baby. This is not for you. This is big boy territory. So I want, you know what we talk about? We're so tired. We want people to hide their emotion. And like, what do you want? You have a guy like Barry Sanders, because I just watched this the other night, who was emotionless, right? Had no emotion playing the game, right? And people begged for it. People begged to find out like more about Barry, right? And then you have guys that are emotional. And I'm not trying to compare him to a coach, but you have a coach that's emotional. And there's actually people on the dial that are going to be like, you know, that's a bad look. That's a bad look for my coach. What's a proper coach supposed to look like, honey? Let me ask you that. What's a proper fucking coach supposed to look like? Because my coach in this city, you may miss something in the history of the city. Because Buddy, maybe you miss Buddy, right? Right? Maybe you miss the Buddy. There's the guys. Maybe you miss Andy early on in his career because Andy wasn't scared to be emotional and be fired up about stuff, right? Like, you think Doug? You've never seen Doug not fired up? I mean, come on. What is wrong with emotion? Get the camera off him then 24/7 on the sideline. All right? What do you think your players want? You think players are stupid?
They don't want a robot. They don't want a robot. They want a guy that's emotional. Players don't want a robot.
Sam, yup. And they're drafting blue chip prospects from elite programs. You know, and I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I fucking will. I've been begging for this. Will knows, Greg knows. I've been begging for him to go to the, and it's not just the SEC. Now you
camps.
Go to the camps. Who won last year? Well, all right. Who are they got? Who's their team captain? Is he available? Can he play? Because I guarantee he can play enough, right? And I guarantee I'm getting great character, right? So I'm getting a double dipper here. I'm looking to double dip. I want all three in my mouth. Right?
I mean, look around the league, Tommy. The other guys that are playing great are the same type of guys. You got C.J. Stroud, came from a winning program, was in the college football playoff last year. You got Will Anderson, same type of deal, from Bama, playing great.
Winners.
Jalen Carter from Georgia. Like, this is where you want to go. That's where you want to go.
Dude, it's amazing. It's amazing because most time organizationally they don't listen to you. You know, I feel like Howie has a pulse. Plus, I don't think he's an idiot, right? Obviously I don't for a lot of reasons. But there looks like there's some linebacker injuries, and we'll talk about this before we get into our Crumb in a week. But it looked like Cunningham left the game.
Cunningham got hurt,
now,
right? Yeah.
I'm going to segue into saying that the waiving of Derek Barnett opens you up for the ability for another roster spot in some fashion, okay? There is a guy formerly known as Darius Leonard. Yeah. Now his name is Shaquille Leonard. Nick Sirianni was on a staff with Darius Leonard at the time, now Shaquille Leonard. I think it's a no-brainer now.
Though, right?
Yeah, but who gives a shit?
I mean, listen, I'll bring him in.
Who gives a shit?
He used to be awesome.
Awesome, but who cares?
Listen, I don't know that he's still not that really good because the dude that's playing now for them is awesome. Zaire Franklin. That's probably why they don't have a spot for him, because that dude's awesome. He's a Syracuse guy, by the way, but he's awesome.
No, he's awesome too.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead,
I was throughout the rumor process, I was kind of very mild on the deal just because why is Indy getting rid of a guy who is just potentially a shell of the defensive player of the year candidate he was a few years ago? But when you throw in the injury, and if it's a lingering injury, then yes, all that goes out the window. Because up until today, Morrow and Cunningham had played really well together. And, with a team like the Eagles, who's only playing 2 actual cover linebackers because Reddick is up on the line, then, yeah, now with the injury, you got to think about bringing him in for sure.
And speaking of that, we didn't even go over our defensive players of the game yet.
Right.
Through all that. No, I just think at this point with Cunningham down,
yes,
now
it
becomes
lingering, yes.
Now it becomes a no-brainer because, I don't care. I'm not going to sign the guy to a 5-year deal here, right? He's going to get a low risk, high reward deal.
Yeah, bring him in.
If
Or just for the rest of the year. I don't even think you have to.
No, you don't. You can worry about that down the road. Okay, defense player of the game. I'll start. I'm going to give it to my guy, another guy that I love to pick when he was selected, and that's one Jordan Davis. I thought he was tremendous. I thought he was tremendous to keeping them from scoring a touchdown there in OT, and that's why I'm giving him to him. There's a lot of, I don't want to say a ton of guys you can give it to. We only had 1 sack, as a team today. But that's what I'm gonna give it to. I'm gonna give it to him for just being just a clogger, right? In a game in the rain where you got to get dirty, you got to grind it out. He was a grinder today, so I'll give it to him.
No, for sure, I like it.
Wells,
absolutely. I'm gonna go BG. I thought he had his best game of the season.
Had our only sack.
Was it a sack and a half or just 1 sack?
Just 1 sack.
Definitely had a sack.
He was the only one.
Thought he made some plays and looked a little fresh. Looked fresher out there than he has pretty much all year. So I'll go to BG.
No, BG had a big sack in this football game. The only one, right?
Yeah.
Greg, who are you taking, babe? Who are you taking?
I wanted to take the combo of the safeties because I thought they played really well.
Yeah.
But Reed missed he missed that tackle on Allen there, and you can't miss that tackle and then also be player of the game. So I'm only going to go in on Byard here. I think the longer Byard's been in the system, he's gotten better each week.
Absolutely.
And I thought he played a really good game, and he gave up a couple passes. But hey, who on our defense doesn't give up a couple passes?
Who in the league doesn't?
Absolutely.
My honorable mention is James Bradbury, though.
I was going to say that.
That pick was big. That pick was big. The defense hadn't taken the football away a lot. We haven't got a lot of interceptions at the defense. That was a big one. So
yeah, absolutely, that was a big one for sure.
And and Jalen Carter blocking the field goal was huge. Even though we gave it right back, we essentially gave that one right back.
He looked like Dikembe getting up there, dude. He was up high. No.
But guys, do us a favor: hit the like, subscribe, stay with us. Me and Greg will see you again. We'll see you again this week as well on A2D Wednesday nights. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to give a quick early score prediction for next week. Then we're going to do our Crumb in a week, and that is brought to you by hats.com. Use code Philly for 15% off your order over at hats.com. They got a hat for everybody. Tell you that right now. And you can get the same hat Brian Dawkins wore during his Hall of Fame induction. So go check out hats.com.
Nice.
Okay. Early predictions for next week. Every week I got us going over 30. So, I don't know if I just stick with that. Like, it's a hard week to do that. I feel like you got to get in a little bit of a dogfight with them.
I feel like it might be a little bit of a dogfight.
I'm going to go 24-21 Eagles.
I like it.
24-21 Eagles.
26-24 Eagles.
Like that one too.
Not so shaky Jake.
For the win.
27-21 Eagles.
27-21, even better. Oh man, what a day.
Let's go.
What a day. Quick crumbs, guys. You want to get in the quick crumbs?
I got one. Right off
Go
the
ahead,
rip.
Rose. Yeah.
Hugh Freeze. Easy, simple. Easy, simple. Easy, simple. 4th and 30. 4th and goal from the 31 in the biggest game of the season for your team, the Iron Bowl, and he rushes 2, lets the dude sit back there for 10 seconds to find the guy in the deep end of the end zone. What are you doing, dude? That's just, it's such a terrible, terrible play call that's almost fireable. How do you rush 2? You got to bring some heat. Make him get rid of the ball. They're on the 31.
Yeah, you want to bring 3.
What are you
3.
doing?
You
He didn't even bring 3.
fine.
He didn't even bring 3. The D tackle
was like a spy almost, right?
He spied. He backed up and spied. They only rushed 2. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You deserve to lose. When you do that, you deserve to lose.
And normally I jump in and be like, hey, come back to Liberty. We'll take you. But Jamie Chadwick's 11-0. So what am I going to say?
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't have that happen. Greg, you got one?
Yeah, it's Texas A&M, whole NCAA. I mean, they're all a mess. Texas A&M allegedly was going to hire Bob Stoops from Kentucky. Mark Stoops. Mark Stoops. The backlash online from the Texas A&M alumni, Twitter, whatever, must have gave him cold feet because they flipped overnight.
Yeah, they went to the Duke guy, right? Yeah. Well, what's crazy about that to me, Greg, is Mark Stoops has been very good at Kentucky.
He had been. Yes, you're right. He
very good at Kentucky, which is a shit program compared to Texas A&M.
Yep.
You have way more. Like, he could definitely recruit more, definitely more money, way more, better everything at Texas A&M.
Absolutely.
You would think he would be even better at Texas A&M.
And just the backlash must have gave the administration cold feet because they flipped really quick.
Does he have like some baggage that I don't know about?
I didn't think so. Who knows? But I went to bed last night. Mark Stoops was the coach at Texas A&M. Wake up today, and it's Eckel, the guy from Duke.
Yeah.
Very
strange. Very strange.
This is my crumb, Joey. My crumb's quick and easy. When you're a 10-1 football team, we are in the business of talking about firing anybody. Right? Not saying that Joey's a crumb. I'm saying that conversation.
He's definitely a crumb.
That conversation's crumb brulee. All right. Because at the end of the day, what I need to see is growth. But that being said, like, I'm not going to sit here and like every play call of this, even with the smartest guy in the room calling plays. I'm still going to have questions. And that's part of watching TV, watching the game from your couch, right? Of the ability to play Monday morning quarterback with it. Right. At the end of the day, Brian Johnson's making the right play calls in the big time, in the big spots. Right. So as much as we want to give, then we have to give that same crap to Jalen then. Right. Because they're tied at the hip. Right. So if we're talking about the first half, Jalen played like dog shit. So then let's get on Jalen too. No. Listen, in winning time, they both stepped up their game. I got gripes with Brian Johnson a little bit. But I'm also understand football and know that when I have a franchise quarterback, he has the ability to make decisions at the line too. So that takes 2 to tango. That ain't a one-person show there. Just like I laugh when offensive coordinators get fired. Now, in some organizational situations, you need it because your play design's garbage, right? That's a different conversation. You know, what design plays is he running? Or is, right, what's the reason? Right? Are we in the right play, but we get the wrong check-in at the line? Right? So there's a lot of factors that go into this. Or is it just bad play design? If we come to the conclusion that Brian Johnson's getting out schemed, then we got a conversation to be had. But if we want to yell and scream because we don't like a play call in a specific spot, you know what I mean? Like I do that all the time. So, but that's not fireable. Jonathan Gannon was. Jonathan Gannon fucking sucked last year. I don't care what the record was, but it also wasn't fireable until what happened in the Super Bowl happened. Then you watched him get out schemed X and O wise, and now you say, well, here you go. This is why we lost. It's one of the reasons. So then it becomes fireable. Then you can start having the conversation of, are we bringing this guy back? Right? But with Brian Johnson, it's not like Jonathan Gannon right now. One, it's year 1 of him doing it at the NFL level, right? And through it all, he's got a football team that's 10-1.
Yeah.
So I can be critical all I want, but
And honestly, Tom, we've been better. We've been better in the second half pretty much every game.
So what does that say?
So he's making good adjustments. Yeah.
That's the biggest takeaway. Brian Johnson, just like Jalen Hurts, is making adjustments to help this football team win games. So, I mean, I don't know. Anybody's fireable. Goodness gracious, you thought about extensions. How can I extend everybody? Right? I mean, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to lose anybody else.
I mean,
I had a funny post in the first half. I had a funny post in the first half that 3 or 4 years ago would have been posted at halftime. And it was like in the picture of like, Jalen laying on the bed and they're like Steichen. Steichen was in the picture, right?
The Wolverine guy.
I would never post it because I know this team's going to fight and scratch their claw the way back in. I'll post if we score 10 points in a football game. Makes sense? Like, miss them. But I'm not posting after wins. You know what I mean? You can't. Come on. Now, if you're 7-5, sure, post after a win, right?
I was gonna say, like, we're spoiled right now almost.
We're spoiled.
We're spoiled. Like, I was saying this to Greg, was complaining about Penn State the other day, and I was telling him, like, I would literally kill 3 people for Syracuse to be as good as Penn State is. Legitimately, I would. I 100% would. So, like, just remember where we're at, guys. And there's teams, there's fans out there that would they haven't seen 10 wins in a season in years.
Decades.
Years. Maybe, we're 10-1. Like, I mean, we love it. We should be loving life right now.
No, we do. It's like last year again. It was in year 2, and we saw a lot of flaws. And then after the Super Bowl, it becomes really out in the open, right? So a little bit different, but still, he wasn't fireable regular season. You know what I mean? Of course not. They were winning football games, right? Even though I thought he was Uncle Missionary. But listen, boys, great show. Told you I'd keep it quicker for you guys tonight. All right.
Love it.
No, you guys are getting older. So I don't want to keep you here too late.
Did math. Gotta go take a nap after that.
Yep. I gotta go put the little guy down. So
I'm gonna have a brutal day tomorrow. So I might go.
Well, listen, after a win, nothing's brutal, Wells. Listen, we thank everybody. No, I hear you. Nobody's here for your complaints. This is everybody out there. We love you. Send Wilson your number or let him DM you. Just complain, about his work week. I got a torn meniscus. I got to figure out a way to work through it. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Fun week for Tom too. For anybody that gives a shit. You ever try to do a lesson with a torn meniscus? It's not fun. But great show. Great Eagles win. We got shows all week long for everybody. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe. Jalen Hurts is that goddamn dude. He is fucking him. He's him. We got one, baby. We got one here. The Eagles are 10-1. This is Agree, Disagree. Only on HUD Radio, and we were brought to you by Royal Billiard, the premier game room store to Delaware Valley. They're stocked with the very best in pool tables, accessories, shuffleboards, card tables, dart supplies, bars, bar stools. Turn any ordinary room into an extraordinary gaming experience. Oh, did we mention they have hot tubs too? Located at 515 Bethlehem Pike, Colmar, PA. Or visit them on the web, royalbilliard.com. So Caucus has came back and said they're reviewing. Well, Secaucus had a torn meniscus reviewing Greg's math, Martian. But Secaucus did come back and say that, Tom thought he could go play Thanksgiving Day football again 8 months after a cortisone shot. And my knee is now bigger than my head. So, dude, it's like heavy, right? You know what I mean? Anybody ever have a knee issue? Yep. It feels like your knee is 1,000 pounds. My knee literally feels, dude. And like walking, Len's like, did your whole right side of your body hurt? And I'm like, you don't know what it's like when you can't really bend it. Like, it messes up your whole fluid of your motion. Don't start coming at me and telling me, dude, your whole right side of your body hurt. Yeah, you know what it does? Look at the size of my freaking kneecap. My kneecap is literally bigger than an NFL ball. It's amazing. And I still rushed for a touchdown, dove in with a torn meniscus, Wells. So let me throw that out there to the public. Still got it. Flacco took my dream. Should have been me. Cleveland, if you need somebody. I could use a massage. I mean, probably the wrong time for that after Cleveland. But, yeah.
While you're in Cleveland, I'm sure Deshaun knows a guy or girl.
Could just use the healthcare. I mean, just get into a guy quick that will actually do an MRI. It's funny, like players, it's like going back for an MRI today, as a normal human, like need an MRI. Well, we're going to need you to go through this and this and this first, and then we'll give you one. I just saw a guy get 4 of them in a week. You guys got 4 of them. Come on. You can't supply one?
We could probably set you up in January. It's like, what, dude?
What? My knee. I can't move.
It hurts now.
I can't even go from gas to brake. You know what I mean? In the car, I feel like I gotta put my right arm underneath my right leg and give it a left.
No.
Oh, give it a left. Give it a left. I can't go lefty.
Oh no.
Go manual. Use the 2 foot.
No.
Use 2 foot. 2 foot. I feel like I'm gonna go through somebody's back. I'm going through somebody's back. I'm gonna hit both at the same time. I don't know what that does.
Yeah, don't do 2 foot. That's not what you should do.
Yeah, 2 foot. How do you? That is terrible. All right. Great show, boys. Great little after talk.
Definitely.
And that's more for the back room, but we gave it to everybody out there because we love you. Once you feel like you're part, you're in it with us. Yeah, I just ordered some cool knee stuff though.
Nice.
I got a because I read about meniscus tears. Surgery doesn't do anything but just remove tissue.
Yeah, they just remove the fray. Yeah.
Yeah, they remove tissue.
I had that.
That's a
heel
heel
for a meniscus tear.
Yeah, that's a heel on its own almost, right?
Pretty much.
So
yeah.
I got this package. It's $250, guys. You know what I mean? And it's got a cooling sleeve, and it's got because if you wear a brace, it makes it worse, right? So it's got this weird type of brace you put on it that and then it's got the athletic tape. I got the athletic tape. I might be taped up. You might not even see my right leg.
The KT tape.
Oh yeah, there's so much tape. It's gonna be hanging off me. Look at this guy. He's got one. What's he got 2 different color legs? 2 different color legs. A blue leg. You guys got a blue leg. All right. Lane, if you got another MRI available, I'll take it from you. Appreciate you. You'll be good for next week. It's been Agree to Disagree. Own HD Radio for Greg Milakovic, Brian Wilson. I'm Tom Arnone. No Nick DelGozzo tonight. You'll see him next week. If you give a shit, we'll see you next week too. We're out.